Today started off pretty good. I got up today, got to sleep in a little bit thanks to my awesome wife. I came out to the garage and I filmed our oil consumption video, which, happy about that. Got done with that, decided, I'm going to go to my chiropractor appointment, get fixed up a little bit, and then go to work for the day. So Monday started off all right. And then I get into town and I'm doing about 50, 55 miles an hour, and a red-tailed hawk decided that today was its day to die. He decided he didn't want to live on this earth anymore and kamikazed the shit out of my car. Look at this crap. That is a pretty significant hit here. I mean, that's from top to bottom, probably a good 20-inch diameter here. It just happens to be where I try to look out of the car, to see while driving. It's very flimsy. There's small glass shards inside. Luckily, no damage to my A-pillar here, no damage up here, no body damage, anything like that. It's just glass. The problem is my car has all of the fancy bells and whistles in terms of automatic cruise control, lane departure warning, your rain sensor, whole 9 yards. It's got the Audi pre-sense for the automatic braking. So there's a lot of tech packages that have to deal with this windshield. If you're unfamiliar, if you have one of these cars and you have all these tech packages, this is not a simple change. This isn't going down to Safelite and paying $250 to get your windshield swapped out. This windshield is, I think, $1,500, something like that. It's stupid. My insurance, obviously got it, my insurance covers it, but they don't want to pay for the OEM Audi glass. There is aftermarket glass, but you can't use the aftermarket glass on these cars. Your heads-up display won't function correctly. None of it will work well. So I've been in a fight all day long to get my insurance to cover the cost of OEM glass. Another awesome thing right now in the climate of what's going on in our world, trying to get stuff shipped isn't easy, if you guys didn't know that. Luckily, my local dealership happens to have this windshield in stock. So working with the awesome guys at Mobile Tech in Wilmington, North Carolina, super great shop there that's helping me out. They're taking the fight to the insurance company, get them to cover the Audi glass. So everything's looking good there. Just have to pay my deductible. But also, another thing, if you don't know this, if you do have this pain in the ass glass and you have all those tech packages, it's not a simple swap of just taking that old windshield off, put the new one on. You then have to get it calibrated correctly. If you have to do this, make sure the shop you take it to can do all of the calibrations, not just the calibration for the sensors and things located here behind your mirror. Make sure they can do all your front and rear calibrations as prescribed by Audi. Otherwise, you need the dealership to do those. A lot of places will say we can do the calibrations, but they can only do those calibrations. They can't do everything else. And the Audi DIY, if you go on All Data, says you have to do a full calibration along with a bunch of other stuff to make sure it's done correctly. So I'm going to get my car ready to go to the shop, drop it off. Hopefully it'll be done Wednesday and I'll be able to pick it back up. Today's Monday night. And I'll kind of vlog this as it goes, and if anything else comes up, I'll let you guys know. So if this unfortunately happens to anybody else, you'll know what to expect. So yeah, that's my Monday. Hope yours is going great. All right, so on the way to drop off the car, forgot my microphone, so it sounds kind of bad, but look at that. That is just crazy how much it disturbs the view of the car. But yeah, on the way to go drop this thing off and get this windshield replaced. All right, guys, so I dropped my car off a few days later now, but I didn't initially get a rental car because it was only supposed to take, a couple days, and I didn't really need one at the time. My wife took me to work and whatnot. But then Friday came and, they got the windshield replaced. I will say it was a nightmare dealing with insurance. My insurance company, I'm with Farm Bureau, I guess they sublet out windshield replacements. And so when I called them and told them, hey, I'm dropping it off here, they're like, okay, we're only going to pay for aftermarket glass. And I was like, no. My car has every autonomous feature that Audi provides on a car of this year. So I need the OEM Audi glass, or else none of that stuff's going to work correctly, and you guys will end up having to pay twice. And they still kind of stuck to their guns, like, no, we're only going to pay for aftermarket glass. You can pay for the difference. For those of you that don't know, the aftermarket glass costs about $250. and the OEM Audi glass cost about $1,500. Your heads-up display, if you have it, won't display correctly without the OEM Audi glass. Your autonomous features just won't work correctly. There's lots of people in the forums that have talked about this. They've had to get it done multiple times. So I impressed upon them and said no. And the shop that's doing the work, they told me, hey, we're not going to do this job unless you get the OEM glass. So I got kicked back to my local agent. My local agent then was like, no, that's BS. I'm going to call them and take care of it. So finally got that approved. They got the glass done. Then they go to do all the alignments for my car and find out that it won't align, nothing will calibrate correctly because during the impact, the camera that's located behind the mirror was damaged. So now we have to do a supplemental claim and get that fixed. So that's where I'm at now. I got a Chevy, let's see, your Chevy Malibu rental car, which that was a whole other issue in and of itself, trying to get a rental car at that point, but I finally got that. So yeah, now I'm just waiting to hear what insurance has to say about an additional, I think like $1,500 of another part of this deal. So yeah, stand by. Okay guys, so got the car back from Mobile Tech here in Wilmington and just want to do a final recap of everything that has pretty much gone on through replacing this windshield, because it definitely wasn't what I expected it was going to be. So, you know, I had to fight with insurance just to convince them to pay for OEM glass, which with the help of my local agent and the shop manager at Mobile Tech was able to get them to do. So they go, they do that, they swap out the glass, great, looks good. They go to calibrate it, calibrations didn't work, and they find out that this camera back here, if you see this opening here, there's a camera here and some other sensor. Well, actually the camera's there and some other sensors and whatnot. That right there apparently got damaged from the impact of me hitting that stupid bird. So that was another part that they had to file a supplemental claim on to get my insurance to approve before they could finish calibrating everything. The insurance was not happy about that because that was like another $1,000 just for the camera and then calibrate everything. Took another few days, but ultimately was able to get them to approve it with the help, once again, of the shop manager and my local agent pressing them for, you know, hey, we need to get this guy's car back. It's been almost 9 days. So they got their approval on that. They fixed it. They calibrated everything. Car works great, but I wanted to like make sure anybody watching this who has the same features my car has, which is all the autonomous features, understands that you have to fight for the insurance to actually do right by you. My insurance company, Farm Bureau, like I like my local agent, but when it got sent off to their Windshield sublet company, they didn't want to do anything. They wanted to get out of this paying less than $260 when this total price of everything involved to replace this windshield was almost $4,700. $1,600 windshield, tons of calibrations for all the components. And to remind everyone, I've got the heads-up display, I've got the automatic cruise control, lane departure warning, night vision camera, Audi presense for front and rear safety, and all those, according to Audi's you know, manual and whatnot, says all those have to be calibrated when you replace the windshield. Because they only wanted to pay a company to just do a few of those. I think it was just the automatic cruise controls. That's all they wanted to pay to have calibrated, but all that stuff has to be done correctly. So make sure you go to a shop that knows what they're doing. If you don't take it to a dealership, make sure you insist on getting a shop that knows how to do all that stuff, has the equipment and training to do all those calibrations. Make sure you get a shop that understands that for these cars, OEM glass has to be used. You can't go with aftermarket because you're gonna need someone to fight on your behalf. If you guys have any questions about this whole process, hopefully none of you really have to go through this, but if anybody has questions on this whole process, leave them in the comments below, like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.